Success is not final, failure is not fatal, but the courage to move on counts. On that note, today we have with us a writer, a renowned martial artist, and I'm afraid that I might not have too many words to describe him, but he has been holding on to a legacy of Indian heritage of martial arts for over 2 decades. Today we have with us Mr. Murugan Pillai Gurupil, Honorable Secretary of Indian Delhi Kalaripayattu Association and Secretary of Indian Silapam Federation. Hello, sir. I welcome you to. Hello, today I welcome you to our show, and since you have been holding on to the legacy of Kalaripayattu from like 2 decades, I would like to know how the journey started.
We started the Kalari in northern part of India in 1993 in the name of Nitya Chaitanya Kalari. That is one of the group of the Maryadis. They found the association as a Nitya Kalari. Then partially we have started to different part of Delhi, like with a small group of the students with a different part of India. Some students from Andhra Pradesh, some students from Haryana. There is a small group we made it. We then located in Mayur phase 3. We start the Kalari center with around 20-25 people that time. After that we got 1995 something, we have got the recognition from the government of Delhi. Then again we traveled to lots of the countries in the meantime. Different countries we located. We do the demonstration. Some foreign delegates we got into for the training. Then finally in 2004 we got the Indian Council of Consultation recognition. Then after that day by day with some different bodies we got the recognition and appreciation. In the meantime we traveled to lots of countries, Israel, Palestine, then Malaysia, then Singapore, then we can Germany, like lots of countries we travel. We try to expose the Kalari, the world shows, as well as we try to learn their culture also. So I think according to the modern or present condition, Kalari is considered as a mother of all martial arts. Whether we are seeing the other martial like Japan, Karate, then Chinese Kung Fu, the whole thing is that we're still having the lots of the stretching. Kalari is still there. That's right.
So you talked about that how you have been like throughout this journey. You have been to a lot of countries like Germany, Nigeria, Palestine, Israel, and I would like to know what was their reaction and how did are they accepting Kalari as a culture and a part of their life, and what was your experience over there?
See, we visited the places of Palestine and Israel. You know that when the history of the Palestine and Israel, every time they have the war between the both countries. So that time also the crucial period we visited there, done the demonstration. People at least came to know the Indian culture, like that Kalaripayattu is one of the martial arts there. Moreover, when the Indians are residing in some such a place, they got the chance to learn. Their children will know about this such art in India have. So they got the chance to learn as well as seeing the demonstration, the knowing the Indian culture also. The whole part of the traveling we seen that whether the people have to know the such things, maybe this country, that country also needs some martial arts. So like that, China have one of the best countries, because when the Indian backward culture as well as the Chinese also there. So we are talking about the Kalaripayattu as a mother of martial arts, then Chinese people they have also have the Kung Fu. Yeah. So basically we believe that Tam was one of the Indian monks teach the Kalaripayattu, otherwise Indian martial art to the Chinese people. So that we got the lots of exposure, because the same stage we doing the both of us doing the demonstration, people are the understand how to compare. What is the traditional way how to do it. So that's I think the entire travel we got the lots of exposure in China, because the country already have the martial arts.
Absolutely, sir. Yeah. On that wise note, I would like to know, I think Kalaripayattu is also about healing, right? We also talk about treatment. And like what's like, and it also involves Ayurveda, and like it's a collection of a lot of remedies at that time. Like in today's world where Western medicine is dominating, what do you think would be the pinnacle or the existence of Ayurveda and Kalaripayattu treatments all over? What do you think? Is there any significance of it, or is it developing? We need more development towards it.
Developing part is always there. You see, now earlier the Kalaripayattu also the people know in the Indian. If you go into the different states, the little bit of the people know about the Kalari. Now, Kalari is the art form almost covered the 25 countries.
Okay.
More than in India, more than 27 states also covered. So I think nowadays most of the people know. Moreover, such art have to develop through the film industry. You see the Ashoka, some English pictures, Malayalam pictures. Recently, lots of the Hindi pictures are coverage of the Kalari. So now the North Indian people almost know about this art. Talking of the healing part is very traditional bit. Because when you are doing the metallic weapon, otherwise very rigorous practice. So always the hit or injuries will be there.
Yeah.
So according to that period also people, otherwise the masters have made a proper healing system. Whether the practitioner of the treatment itself and the Kalari itself, not go for the hospital or something. The adoption of the Western culture is still there. Because you see, lots of technologies come out, the people are believing on that, everything is there, but still the traditions are going very smoothly. If you go to the Kerala, more than 1500 Kalari is there. 1500 healing places also there, more than 10,000 gurus there, more than 13,000 people are doing the Kalari. The all are, even though now the pandemic conditions of corona, otherwise from the COVID, I think I noticed that a single person from the Kalari, they didn't effect on the COVID the entire period. The last time we are talking about the fourth wave was also coming, but still, now only sir got the problem of the COVID or something. They are still doing the practice, still going. So I think according to that things, everything is going to proper
Yes,
way.
now we've talked about various martial arts and how when you go abroad and we interact, it's all about integration of two forms as well. So I would like to know today when we see all around, I guess people have a misconception that martial arts are all about oppression first and like attacking first. People have this perception maybe through movies and stuff. But what's actually according to you the philosophy of Kalari?
Kalari basically we can say simply we can say the way of the healthy life.
Okay.
The man can have the proper discipline. So I think the modern early we seeing that the early people have the proper lifestyle they have.
Okay.
From the according to the Sanskrit we can say the Rudacharya and the Dinacharya. So this is a very fundamental thing. So the area art, whether it is yoga, whether it is any exercise form, any whatever. But according they are going with according to the climate, according to the body nature.
Okay.
So, according to this, if we seeing the other martial arts, that I think maybe they are teaching for only a different system. But the Kalari is a Gurukula system. Whether they be teaching the Guru or Shishya Parambara. We call it a Parambara, not as we can say anybody is a Guru. Because the Parambara means the traditions are going to things to Guru to Shishya, then again Shishya becomes as a Guru, then again Shishya, likely going to this.
Okay.
So this teaching maybe I think other art form doesn't have.
Yes,
they only teach a different system.
Yes, I hope it's an endless cycle between a guru and his shishya.
Yeah.
I'd now you've been under Nitya Chaitanya Kalari, you started your in North India started in late 90s, then you started with the healing treatment. You've been a healer, you've been a writer, you have travelled all along. And despite after 2 decades, now you're here. What do you think? What I would like to know on the ending note that what's your vision now?
See, my vision is making the things to the people should be known more about this art form, because this art form not just only the not the art. We think it's a martial form. Lots of things there. Lots of. If the things come to the school level or children level, when the man when the children become as a young or something, then he can learn lots of things, because everything is according to me. If you make it a proper form, whether it is a dive side or your professional level, whatever, but if you make it a proper form, then what they think should are going to do, they can do very perfect. No doubt.
Okay, so on that note, I guess we need to go a little bit of old school. And on that wonderful note that we'll be ending this interview. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. It's an honor to be here and interviewing you.